Hello, welcome to Steve McDonald's Crafting, and what I'm going to have a go at today is making some white porcelain air dry clay. The air dry clay that I made with the newspapers worked brilliantly, and I still have some left, and it's in perfect condition even after, it must be 4 months since I made this, and it will work really well, so it keeps brilliantly. But I want something that is a little bit finer in texture, so I'm going to try it with toilet paper. First of all, I'm going to take the inside roll out, because obviously I don't want that in there, so I'm just going to pull that out, if it will come out. There we go, keep that, that will be a crafting item. And now I've got some hot water here, and I'm going to soak the whole roll. I will do measurements of it, because obviously this is a new thing for me. I'm going to leave this in here for probably half an hour to see what happens in the water. Okay, that's been in there about 10 minutes, and I want to start to break this up a little bit more so that all the fibres start to get really nice and soft and break up a lot more. And then once that has broken up as much as I want it, I will show you what else I'm going to do. I will give the measurements of everything that I use, both in cups for our American friends and in grams for anybody that uses grams. So you can make this if you want to. Now, I may change the recipe up. I think I've worked out what I need, but it may need tweaking a little bit as we go along. And if it needs tweaking, then I will let you know what I've tweaked it with. I will write the final recipe up and put it on my website as a free download for anybody that wants the recipe for this. Well, this has been soaking now for about an hour. And what I'm going to do is use my mixer. And I only ever use this for arts and crafts, to give that a really good mix and pulp that up. Now I'm probably only going to do this for about a minute, just to break it up a little bit more. Okay, so that should be nice and soft, and it is. It's lovely and soft. Now what I'm going to do is squeeze out quite a bit of the water, but I'm not squeezing this really hard because I don't want to then turn it back into a solid lump. But I will need some of this water in there. So that's about right for me. So it's breaking up, but it's not too hard in there. Now, while I put it in here, before the next stage, I'm going to break it up again. So I'll go through, I'll do the whole thing like that, so it's all like this little crumbly texture, but it's still not sticking together solid. Well, this is what it looks like now, and it's all like in little pellets. Now I've weighed this out, and there are 525 grams of damp toilet paper, which equates to 4.5 cups, if that helps. So now what I need to do is put my other ingredients in. My first ingredient is 64 grams of cornstarch, and I'm going to put the dry ingredients in there first, and that equates to 1/2 cup of cornstarch. And then I'm going to use double that amount of joint compound, and this is a no-cook porcelain clay recipe. I can't be doing with cooking. So this is 128 grams, which is 1 full cup of the joint compound. I'm now adding 2 cups of white glue, which is 256 grams, and that's PVA white glue. Into that I'm going to add a teaspoon of glycerine. And again, this is optional. If you don't want to add this or you haven't got it, then don't worry about it. And also a teaspoon of thick bleach. And this stops it going mouldy. It kills all the mould spores and stops it going mouldy, as you can see from the other one that I made. You don't need much of it. Just a teaspoon of that, and that'll be enough. In there. And then all this will go into here. If I find once it's gone into here, once it's mixed up, it's a little bit dry, then I can add a little bit more water to it in the same ratio. So I'll do 1:1 water and white glue. I'm giving this a mix up. But I do want this to be quite a thick clay rather than a runny clay. And now I'm going to use my mixer and mix this around like this for 5 minutes, making sure I really get it all well mixed in. Well, that's fully mixed now, and I'm quite pleased with the consistency. And what I want to do is just do a little test on it, and it is coming out nice and smooth. Remember, if ever you want to put any on here, on cardboard or anything, and use it as paper mache, then all you need to do is smooth it over like that. And if you want it smoother than that, all you do is dip your tool or knife into a little bit of water and then smooth it over like that. That'll give you a really nice smooth finish, look. There. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that to dry to see how hard it dries. I'm also going to make some of these little moulds as well and leave them to dry. I'm pushing it in quite firmly and we'll leave those to dry. I have no reason to believe this isn't going to work, but we'll see and make sure if it does. Don't forget, I will leave the recipe on my website. It's free to download from there. And then what I'll do is I'll leave that overnight to cure up along with this, and we'll see how nice and hard it goes. And in the meantime, what I'm going to do is store it into these Ziploc bags. I've got 2 of them because I don't want to put the whole amount in one bag. I'll squeeze all the air out of it, and that way it will keep, well, the other one's kept for nearly 4 months. Well, this has been curing overnight and it's gone very, very hard. I'm really quite impressed with it. Look. So that is making amazing white clay. It's lovely and smooth. And the bits, it just demolds out of these molds lovely. It's really taken on a lot of detail on that as well. And that one. I'm very pleased with it. I've got a whole bucket full and I'm now going to start a project using it. Let me know in the comments what you think, or if you make your own clays and how you make it as well. I will put the recipe on my website as a free download for anybody that wants it. Be sure to check out the video that I made on making clay using recycled newspaper, because that worked out really well as well. Hit that subscribe button and please boot that like button. It really helps me to get that out there. And if you want to get hold of anything, including the Buy Me a Coffee link, everything is in the description below. Take care. Enjoy your crafting. Bye.